I know you guys love a Galeon. This is the 460. This is as innovative as all of the rest of them. There is so much to show you on here, so much going on. So we are, of course, going to do the full tour. The first thing we find, in fact, is these drop balconies. This is very much a Galeon feature. So these normally, when you're running the boat, are up against the side, and then when you're stopped, you can hinge them as we've got them here down. These rails drop in, these stools drop in. You've got a bar area here. We'll see that in a bit more detail on the inside. And in fact, what I think I'm going to do, because there's so much to cover on here, is head straight inside first of all. We'll cover the interior, show you everything that's going on in there, and then we'll come out and show you all the decks, because there's masses out here as well to explain to you. And I've deliberately closed the doors on this one because it's quite an interesting setup. Quite often on boats what you have is it quite simply the doors slide and you end up with one section there with all three bits sort of lined up. This one is a bit more interesting because you have a conventional door here, so you can just walk in and out just like you do at home, no problem at all. But if you want to open this out, rather than sliding them, what you do is this one comes back, it clips into place down here, and then with this one, what you do is you release it here, you then slide the whole shebang across until it clicks, like so, and then you pull that one there, and look at that. The whole lot then opens up, and the reason for this, rather than just simply sliding them, let's put that down to secure it, is that you now get this whole aperture open. Whereas if you slide them, of course, you always end up with one section that doesn't fold away. So that really opens this area out. But what also opens this area out, of course, is these sliding windows. So this one we've got slid open at the minute, then the bar area, the countertop hinges over, and that makes a bar area. But we can do the same on the other side. I've had this one closed for the minute so I can show you. Basically that drops back like that, and you can click that into place wherever you want it. That's fully open. And then this seat here, which is currently facing into the galley, what you can do with this is release the little catch down here, like so, and then that piece there flips over, and this one here, if we move the cushions to the side, you can drop over and you can put in whatever position you like. So you can have it like that, and then you've got a lovely seat there. You're inside the shelter of the saloon, but you're facing out across again, the drop balcony, of course, and that gives you another lovely little social space on the boat. Now it's a galley aft layout, so the galley is over on this side. You can have an option where if you want more galley space, you can lose this seat, have worktops here, and use underneath for storage, for extra refrigeration, for whatever you want. But on this one, they've gone for the seat here, then just this section of galley. But you've still got things like dishwasher is in here, fridge, of course, is in that one. There's storage in places like this. You've got the electric oven, you've got the electric hob. There's more storage then up around the top in places like this. And then there's even a pull-out extractor fan like that. So it's pretty comprehensive, but as I say, if you're really focused on catering, then just lose that, add another work surface there, add more refrigeration or ice maker or whatever you want, and you can adapt that however you like. If we head on forward a little bit further, AV equipment is tucked in here, and this little remote control, if we touch the up button, that's a one touch, and that then is a 43-inch television. It rises up out of there. It's linked up to the Fusion stereo system, so you've got all the nice sort of speakers and surround sound and so on. So that's giving you a lovely place of an evening to sit here, watch TV if you want to. Of course, with this seat here as well, that makes that a really nice social area. It's also a high-low table, so you can drop that down, put some infill cushions in and make that a day bed. So of an evening, it's a lovely place just to curl up and watch a bit of telly. But you can also, and you'll notice if you've been watching my videos before that Galeon have been very careful what they put on here, put something nice and stable. And if you watch my 500 video, you'll understand that. No, it wasn't the 500, was it? Was it the 485? Anyway, I broke something on the Galeon. Let's not talk about it anymore. So this, that swivels round, opens up, and that's for dining. Really simple, really easy to use. Let's pop those back nice and carefully. Okay, so that is your lounge area effectively, and then we look on the other side, then we have got the helm position over here. All these windows, incidentally, they all have blinds that come up, so I can't really show you now. I've put our TV up, can I? Where can I show you? I'll show you the one over here. Yeah, here we go. So these are all blinds on all the windows that come up, so that if you're at night and you want to obviously have a bit more privacy, then you can drop those into place. The helm's over here. You've got a lift bolster because you have actually got standing headroom here, so if you want to stand here and lean against it, you can do, or you can drop it down and sit. You've got electric window. I love the way they've backlit all these switches here. So if we hit the starboard window, so you can really get a feeling now for how this opens the boat out, because with that open, we've got this side open, we've got that side open, of course the whole of the back is open as well. Just means it's a really lovely, well ventilated area. I mean, it is air conditioned as well, of course, but this is nice to be able to just put a gentle breeze through here. That works really well. What else have we got here? We've got the screens here. These are Raymarine screens. You can configure these however you want. We've got this on engine instrumentation at the minute and navigation, but you can go into the menus and you can choose radar. You can switch between chart and dashboard, so you could have both of those on one screen and then radar on the other. You can set this up basically however you want. There we go. Another upgrade on this particular boat is bow and stern thrusters, but this one's got digitally proportional, so you can change the amount of power as you increase the pressure on the button across, so you're increasing the power of the thrusters. That's a nice thing to have. And then you've got engine instrumentation, dedicated screen here, and the autopilot. So that is the main deck. But if we head down forward, we can take us down to the lower deck. We go past some of the electrics here, so distribution panel, you can see that there, various switch gear and so on to turn things on and off, is all controlled from there. And if we come right on down to the lower deck, we'll head forward first of all. This is the VIP guest cabin. Worth mentioning the wood actually at this point, because this one's got the high gloss walnut. But if you prefer, you can have a matte walnut, you can have a whole load, I think there's something like 10 different options. You can have like a sort of very contemporary grey wood. You can go for, as I say, matte or the high gloss that we've got here. There's lots of different things that you can do with the woodwork. And then of course all the colour schemes of carpets and all that kind of stuff is all selectable as well. Now, very much a Galeon thing is that we've got these big skylights. So a ton of light gets poured into here. Now these all have blinds that pull across. So if you want more privacy or you just don't want the light beaming in, then of course you can do that. There's an opening hatch up there at the front as well, so that's more ventilation or another way out. These square sections here also are opening sections. There's big wardrobes in here, one each side. They're illuminated, like so. And you've got nice things then, like a little dressing area. You can sit on the bed here and open that up. This is all storage along here, storage all the way along here. They've also put the light switches are up by the head of the bed. They're down there. There's a power socket there as well. And I think I'm right in saying air conditioning controls are up here. Let's have a look. Perhaps it's on the other side. Yeah, there we go. The little screen just down there is air conditioning control. So all of that can be controlled from the bed. You don't get into bed and think, oh, I didn't turn the lights out, or I'm a bit warm, I want to turn the air conditioning up. You can do it all from there. You don't have to get back out. The other wardrobe is over on this side. I'll show you this one because the TV's in here as well, by the way. Same sort of deal, but you've also got then access to some of the engineering areas in places like this. So that's giving us circuit breakers and battery switches for the bow thruster. And then again, more storage along there. And indeed, huge drawers under the bed. And where we've got the camera pointed this way, you've also got then access traps in the floor. So this one is taking you down to the batteries for the bow thruster. Down underneath there. And if we spin on round, you've got an ensuite. This has got these clever little door catches where they're completely recessed. You have a little sticky out bit, and then when that goes into place, you'll probably see, hopefully, with a bit of luck, how that just clicks out. There we go, you can see it, she's just there. So that's like that, but when you bring it out and let go, it doesn't reappear. It's rather nifty, isn't it? So don't catch yourself on it. So this is the ensuite to this cabin. You've got the shower in through here, so you can keep this area dry. You've got the sink, you've got the toilet, and again, storage up in places like this. Ventilation in here as well. You can open that square section of the window, but there's also a door here that takes you back into the main passageway, so that's also a day heads, so you can get to that without going through any cabins, and that is that door there. Cabin 3 is accessed from here as well. That's in here. This one's giving you bunk beds, and they're full adult size, and then you've got Again, big hanging locker in here. Bit more storage down here. All that kind of stuff. And also, again, air conditioning controls. So each cabin has its own air conditioning controls and can be at its own temperature. So that sounds like the music started up. We're at the boat show at the minute, the South Coast Boat Show. If we go into here, owner's cabin. Full beam of the boat. And being a little bit smaller than the 500, what you do find in here is the floor steps down and up. That's because slightly narrower, they need to sink this right down into the centre. What they have done, however, is they made this so that as you come around, the ceiling comes up with it. So as you step up here, you can walk around fully upright. Huge windows in here, so really good view out. That is the Galeon 500, I think I'm right in saying. We have a tour of that on the channel, well worth seeing. And then again, just a load of storage along in places like this. There's a big hanging locker with the double doors, like so. That one there is giving you access to air conditioning systems. So again, it's all nice and accessible for any kind of maintenance or other work that's needed in the future. Big TV in here again, and then if we go over to the other side, you've got this very nice little settee. So you can tuck yourself away with a good book. And again, all the controls for the lighting, these are on dimmers as well. There's a plug socket down here so you can charge your phone. And again, air conditioning control, that's down by the bed over on that side. But lighting in here is lovely, the way they've backlit all of this. You've got the separate little reading lights here, and it's all configurable. You can turn different elements on and off, you can dim it down and get it exactly how you want it. There's an ensuite, and I'm going to remember this time. For some reason, whenever I'm on a Galeon, probably because there's so much going on, twice I've walked straight past the ensuite. This time I'm not going to. I made a special note, don't forget the ensuite, and here it is. So this is the master cabin ensuite. You've got the separate shower area here, obviously with this door that opens like so. And then you've got your sink, you've got your toilet, storage down underneath here, and then a bit more up in behind here, like so. Let's close that one back over. The AIS has started bleeping. It's all going on today, but the music stopped. Excellent. I just hopefully gives time to do the outside. This is giving us AIS warnings. New dangerous Ais Target. Well, we're berthed in the marina. I think we'll be fine. Big one-piece windscreen on here as well. That's nice. Oh no! Stop it. Okay. Yes. 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 We're fine. We're fine. Don't panic. It's a very, very nervous system. These are AIS targets. What these are doing is they're showing you all the boats in the vicinity that have got AIS, where they are, which way they're pointed, what direction they're going, and if there's anything close to you, it will alarm and let you know. And of course, what it's doing is picking those up, which is slightly frustrating. I suspect there's a boat moving around out here that's in quite close proximity. And of course, if you're out at sea, that would be a concern. In here, less so. Okay, let's go and do the outside. There's a load of stuff to show you out here, so I'm going to go right aft to the bathing platform and work my way back in. Now there's a very decent bathing platform on this one. This will take a 500 kilogram lift, so you can get a Williams 325 on here, which is remarkable for a boat of this size. This is nice. These are steps that as this lowers into the water, these kind of unfold and give you steps down in, which is excellent. If we come right across here, there's a boarding ladder here. This is great because when the platform is up, of course, that's a very quick access in and out of the water without having to lower the platform. What else have we got? This is interesting. This one here is a massive lazarette area. Look at that, goes right across. And you'll see there's a little ladder on that side. That's because you can lift the cushion in the cockpit on that side of the seating area, and you can get into it that way as well. So that's very useful. You don't have to come down here. So if you're out at sea and want to get something out, you don't have to get yourself down to the bathing platform to do it. The other thing this boat's got is down underneath. Where's it gone? I've lost it. Let's be over this side. Yeah, there we go. These little chaps here are water inlet and outlet. You can plug that into the marina, and it means that rather than just using up your water in your water tank and having to refill it, it takes the water directly from the marina and straight into the water tank, keeps it topped up. But also, because there's an inlet and an outlet, you can recycle the water, so you can actually sort of run that and freshen up your water tank with that. There's also a shower here, he says, somewhere. Where's the shower gone? Here we are. hiding underneath here. So that's that one there, just pulls out, and the control fits underneath there. There is a passerelle on this particular boat. This is a med spec, this one, so it's got the passerelle that extends out of here, and a few other options. If you go for the UK spec, for example, you don't get air conditioning, you get heating. Rope bins are in here, he says. Use the right hand, I can open it, there we go. So when you've tied your rope off, you can put the rope down through there and store the tails of the warp, I should say. You should call those warps, not ropes. What else have we got? Drop balconies. We spoke about those earlier, but you can see from here how that's normally upright, giving you a walkway up through. With that drop down, well, it just extends this area massively. You can see right across the back of the boat here. Now we can see here as well how this bar area, so this normally is hinged up like this, and the door then slides across, but with that open and that drop down, it's a lovely place to sit and have a drink just here. And we need to talk about this area, because this is what they call the dining layout option. So you've got this nice seat that runs around in like a U-shaped, big table. You can put chairs on this side as well, of course. And that is also height adjustable, so you can drop that down and make that into a sunbed. And in fact, you notice there's little clips here, because that whole back section will also hinge down and extend that into a big sun pad if you want to. There are alternatives for this. If you've seen the Galeon 500 video, you'll see that had a completely rotating area here, which meant it could spin round and face out across the back of the boat. You can have that as an option if you want, and then the standard option is just to have an L-shaped seating area, and then I think there's a bit more storage. So it depends how you use the boat and where you're using the boat and what works best for you, but you can configure that again how you like when you order the boat. Right, let's head on around a bit further. Still plenty of things to see. That one there is just, you've got the handles for the manual bilge pump, there's electric pumps as well, and you've also got the emergency stop button in there as well. And that is the activation for the balcony. So you just hit the activation, hit the up button, and that will power up. I'm not going to show you now because it's got obviously all these rails in which you need to take out first, but that's how that operates. It's all powered. This is that lovely seat that we saw when we first came into the interior. So that door is slid open, that's flipped over. That's fantastic. What a lovely place to while away your time. If you're out at anchor somewhere, that'd be beautiful. Or even if you're in a marina, like this boat here, and you can sit there with it on that side, looking out over the water. Really good. Okay, let's head up this side. This one here is fillers. So your diesel filler and your waste outlet are in there. That little chap there is so that when this is raised up, you can bolt it into place so it's really firm. And if we step on up here, we'll go past, that's that drop window next to the helm. You can see how big that is. And right up to the front, there's another bow cockpit area. And what's clever about this is that these have got storage underneath them. They hinge up, but they hinge, you can see the hinges there on this side, so they hinge this way, and then the backrests just drop down flat into them. So these, when underway, you drop those away very easily, and you can take the cushions off, put them away, and that leaves this area then completely sort of protected and it's not in your way. But when you are berthed to raise this up, that just gives you a tremendous seating area up here on the bow. Table as well, you can see here, that folds up because it slots into these storage lockers here when you're not using it. And again, you can see that big one-piece windscreen from here as well. You spin on round, that's the 500. As I mentioned, we've got a video of that, take a look. And then up here is the anchor chain locker and the anchor winch itself, so that's down there. And your up-down buttons are here. Okay, let's head on back a bit further. I love this metallic paint finish they've put on here, that looks really smart. We'll come back down this side. Take a walk around the bar, and this time we'll head up to the flybridge. So that's up these steps, again switches for this area here, so you can power that up into place when you're out and running. You wouldn't run the boat with these down, I hasten to add. You'd bring those up if you're underway. These are just to drop down when you're at anchor or when you're in a marina, somewhere where you've stopped and just want to increase your deck space. Up here, again, they've gone with this spray painted metallic finish in areas like this, just makes it look a little bit more interesting, a little bit less bland. If we come right to the front, first of all, upper helm is here. So double seat here. You've got your twin screens across here. Again, there's bow and stern thrusters, digitally proportional. Fusion Hi-Fi is controlled from here. And your throttles for your engine are here as well, of course. And zip wake trim tab controls. Great view from here. as you can see. Really great place just to be outside in the fresh air really, but also when you're manoeuvring the boat in places like this, it just gives you tremendous visibility. And I really like this sunbathing area. That's a great place when you're underway. People can sit here, other people can lounge across here. It's just a lovely social area because this is very much an owner-operator size of boat. There's no crew cabin on here. So, you know, when you're driving the boat, you want to be all together, have your friends or your family up here with you. That's a brilliant place to be. Really good. And when you're stopped, well, then you've got the wet bar up here. So that lifts up. We've got the grill there for grilling your fish. Sink here, that lifts up like so. And there's a fridge in underneath here as well. And that's just a little bit of storage next to it, like so. Let's drop that one back down. Now you can drop this, if people are up here, this will hinge down, it's on a gas strut, so that nobody's going to go tumbling down there. Somebody asked me if you can walk on these, and I said yes, and they said prove it, and I said all right, next time on a boat I will. Here we go. There we are. That would have been a good outtake if I'd gone through, but I don't think the dealer would have been very impressed. There we are. That's that one. Seating all the way around the back here. And this table will unfold. So what you can do with this, slide that across. There are sections that pull out to support it, and then this hinges open like so. And so with them both open, being very, very careful with the accoutrements. There we go. Really big dining area up here now. That's lovely. Bimini, that's part of the Mediterranean pack. So this one's got that. Nice thing to have on a hot sunny day. And that's actually, if we come right back, you can see that's a really big flybridge. Let's manoeuvre myself back into this corner. Look at that, it's a good size, isn't it? And finally, we've got the radar arch here. Radar sits up here, nav lights. And these domes, these look like communication and satellite domes, are actually fakes. They're just there to look good. One of them's got the TV area in it, apparently. There we go. Oh, being so careful. You'll know why if you've seen the infamous video where I managed to break one of the artifacts. So that is the flybridge. The only thing left is the engines. So we're going to head back down here. I like to put this here to hold on to as you come up or down. That works well. And then you've got this one here. You've got another one here. So it's great. Obviously in the marina it doesn't matter quite so much, but if you're out at sea, going up and down there, those are very reassuring things to be able to hang on to. Lighting down here as well, that's what all these little fellas are here for, so this all lights up at night. And the engines then we'll find under the floor here. So, let's pick that one up like so. And I will lower myself in. It's also lovely and new. You really feel it most when you go in engine rooms and you see things like how clean these drains are around the edge here. Lovely. So let's come right back and we will find in here a pair of Volvo Penta D8 600 engines, so 600 horsepower each. These are on a shaft drive, but they're using V drive, so rather than have the engines and then the shafts and then the props behind that, what they've done is position the engines further back in the boat, put them in backwards effectively, slope them that way so the power goes out forwards, but then the V drive is up here and it takes then that drive and sends it back under the engines with conventional shaft drive. And the reason that they do that is space utilization, because you imagine with conventional shaft drive, your shafts come up and then your engines are up there. Well, in fact, on this boat, what you've got up there is the mid cabin. So doing it this way means you have the simplicity of shafts, but you have the packaging that allows you to put the engines further back and give you a lot more space for the accommodation. That's why the accommodation is so good for a boat of this size. Performance with these engines, you're looking at about 30 knots flat out, and you're looking there for 20-25 knot cruise, and at those sorts of speeds about a 250 mile range, which is pretty typical for a boat of this type. Automatic fire extinguisher is up there. You've got fuel filters up here as well. These are the fuel tanks either side, and there's a generator on this one as well. That's back down in that corner over there. And if I spin right on around, you've got things like the battery master switches are all along here, circuit breakers are all along here, so a lot of the electrics and the batteries themselves, in fact, are all nice and get-atable. And these are engine vents up here, they're forcing air into this engine space. So there we go. That little fella down there, I think I'm right in saying, is the air conditioning system. Yeah, pretty confident that's what it is. So that is the engine space. Look how lovely and new these engines are. Okay, let's come back out of here because I think we've just about covered it. Spin round, drop that one back down. I'm always slightly worried with Galeons that I've missed something just because there is so very, very much to show you, but no, I think we've done it. I really do. So, you know the bit where I said I filmed everything, I haven't forgot anything this time. I've done it all. Almost. Step back this way just for a moment, because what we didn't show you was a very nice seat on the back of the boat, so people can sit there watching people swim or putting their fins on or whatever else. That's a useful thing. But also check this out. You can see why I missed it, because that little recess there, if we take hold of it here and give it a pull, that is the barbecue. How nifty is that? Put that away. Let's put that away. And now we've done everything. Superb. Let's come out here. I'm going to sit on this lovely comfy seat just here. And I am going to say massive thanks to Approved Boats up here in Southampton. They've organised this tour. Huge thanks as ever to you guys. Let me know what you think of this one, and we'll catch you on another one real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.